We didn't really know what to expect when packing our bags for CES 2024. What would the breakout star of the show be? What new TV technology would we see? And what cars would we want to drive home? The show floors at Las Vegas were once again filled with engineers, salespeople, business deal makers, and members of the press, all eager to get their fill of the latest tech under the shadow of the brand new Sphere. The Engadget team spent weeks combing through the show's directories, researching exhibitors, and hunting down gadgets in person to determine which of these new products were worthy of the hype. We narrowed down our finds, shortlisted our candidates, and voted as a team to decide what were the best things we saw this year. So, without further ado, here are the winners of CES 2024. Not only is the Asus ROG Zephyrus G14 powerful enough to run the latest blockbuster video games, but it's also incredibly sleek. The ROG Zephyrus G14 has an aluminum chassis with clean lines, crisp edges, and a thinner, lighter design than previous models. A simple LED slash runs across the lid and can be programmed to show up in gray or white, rather than the garish rainbow favored by other gaming laptops. The ROG Zephyrus G14 looks sophisticated, but it'll also run any title on the market. This is what gaming laptops look like when they're all grown up. Samsung's line of frame TVs, first introduced back in 2017, do a great job of disguising a large screen TV as a piece of art. The Samsung Music Frame does the same thing, but for wireless speakers. Instead of a screen, there's a place to display art or album covers that you swap pretty easily. This wouldn't be noteworthy if the Music Frame didn't sound good, but in our demo, it did. The Music Frame includes 2 woofers, 2 tweeters, and 2 mid-range drivers, and supports Dolby Atmos. It's also quite the flexible speaker, working on its own in a stereo pair or connected to a TV as part of a bigger home theater setup. It's even wall-mountable. We have no price or release date, but given Samsung's success with the Frame TVs, we imagine they won't wait long to get the Music Frame on the market. OLED TVs are great. An OLED TV you can see through? Well, that's just wild. The LG Signature OLED T is far from the first transparent TV we've seen at CES, but it is the first that will actually be sold to consumers. This is a 77-inch set with a retractable contrast screen. Keep the filter up and it looks similar to one of LG's standard, excellent OLED sets. Bring it down and the image almost looks like it's floating in midair. It's a ridiculous, extravagant, probably unnecessary thing that won't make it into most homes anytime soon. It's also a stunning piece of tech design and just plain cool. So, a perfect fit for CES. TCL's new Pro tablet is different. It doesn't have the fastest processor or highest resolution screen, but it stands out compared to all of the competition. It's somewhere between a tablet and a giant e-reader with a matte display that can switch between full color and an easy-on-the-eyes black and white view. It's not about them being sharper or faster, but gentler on our very human eyes. Asus has been chasing the dream of dual-screen notebooks for years, but this year's ZenBook Duo appears to be its best attempt yet. It consists of 2 separate components, a dual-screen display unit and a detachable Bluetooth keyboard. You can use the ZenBook Duo in a typical clamshell mode with a keyboard in front of one of its displays. But when you've got more room, you can open up the display to have 2 screens sitting on top of each other, balanced on a built-in kickstand. It's like the laptop equivalent of a transformer. What's truly impressive is that the ZenBook Duo feels incredibly polished, and it has capable hardware like Intel's Core Ultra chips and gorgeous OLED screens. It also starts at a very reasonable $1,500, making it a dual-screen laptop for the masses. There's never a shortage of health and fitness tech at CES, and this year, the veteran company Withings stood out with its $250 BMO Multiscope, which combines 4 devices, a body temperature sensor, an electrocardiogram, an oximeter, and a digital stethoscope into one surprisingly light consumer device that promises to make it easier to collect basic health metrics at home. The company's HealthMate app collects all of that data, which can then be sent to doctors quickly with a few taps. Withings is also seeking FDA approvals for the BMO to be able to detect atrial fibrillation in the future. BMO impressed us not only with its versatility and fairly affordable price tag, but also for the potential impact it could have on the telemedicine space. Pending approvals, BMO is expected to launch this summer. There were plenty of great smart home products at CES 2024 in Las Vegas, but one of the most impactful and exciting was EcoFlow's Delta Pro Ultra. It's a hybrid solar generator that can pull down power from up to 42 panels at once, store power from the grid, and even recharge from a gas generator. Its modular construction means with enough batteries, it can store up to 90 kilowatt hours and run on a 3-ton central air system, something few others in its class can manage. Given the increasingly affordable nature of these systems and the power they can offer folks who may want to save a fortune on their power needs, this makes us hopeful for the future. When it comes to smoking meat at home, your options are usually limited to outdoor grills that burn charcoal pellets or wood. If you live at a place where your landlord doesn't allow open flames, like apartments, then you're pretty much out of luck. GE Appliances brought the activity indoors with a smart smoker that's also Wi-Fi connected for remote control and monitoring. The device is capable of infusing smoke flavor via wood pellets into foods prepared inside its cooking chamber, as we experienced firsthand this week. There won't be any smoke wafting around your kitchen as the unit captures all of that with its filtration system. If you need to cook while you're away, a unique feature does that and then holds your food at a safe temperature until you're ready to serve. At CES this year, Sennheiser debuted the 4th-gen version of its flagship earbuds with a host of improvements. They still sound excellent, but after some initial listening time this week, ANC and transparency mode are also improved. The Momentum True Wireless 4 did a great job blocking out the noisy Las Vegas suite, allowing us to focus on the selection of jazz we used to demo the earbuds. Transparency mode also sounded more natural, which will be a big help for calls and tuning into your surroundings. What's more, Sennheiser figured out a way for active noise cancellation to not impact battery life nearly as much as it typically does. ANC only cuts listening time on this model by half an hour. The number of accessibility and aging-related products that were good enough for us to consider for awards at CES 2024 was encouragingly high. We considered a tongue-operated device controller, a system for those with hearing loss to better focus on specific speakers in noisy environments, and a product that would allow gamers with hearing loss to see visual cues. But Gyro Glove stood out for a few reasons. It uses a sophisticated gyroscope to help those with hand tremors stabilize their movement for better control. But one of the deciding factors in our picking it as a winner is the fact that it's already available for sale around the world. The company said it's already in talks with the chief medical officers of several insurance providers in the US and has registered the Gyro Glove as a medical device with the FDA and Australia's Therapeutic Goods Administration. It's certified by various international standards organizations to boot. That lends credibility to an assistive device that's already improving the lives of the people we interviewed who have used it for a few days. Kia's PBV, or Platform Beyond Vehicles concept, is the rare concept that might actually be a real thing in the relatively near future. The PV5 is likely to be the first to make the leap. It's a small, modular van that can be equipped with a taller roof for extra headroom or turned into a pickup by swapping out the back 2/3. It can also be turned into a taxi with extra seating for passengers. One of the more interesting things is how the members of the PBV family, including the larger PV7 and the smaller PV1, are expected to work together. For instance, Kia imagines a rail system that can connect a PV7 directly to a PV1, transferring cargo to the smaller vehicle for last-mile deliveries. Most importantly, PBV isn't some fantastical dream vehicle that will never be heard from again. Kia is already building a dedicated factory in Korea that's expected to be ready to pump out 150,000 vehicles in 2025. CES was a little light on notable robots this year, but Samsung revived one we loved when we first saw it way back in 2020. Bolly is an adorable bowling ball-sized robot that rolls around your home, following you around like a robotic pet that's eager to please. Bolly is a lot bigger now, and it has a 1080p projector built in so it can both show you things and speak to you when you ask it for help. Think of it like a Nest Hub or other smart home display that can follow you around and be more flexible with the way it helps you. While many companies show off products like this that have no chance of actually reaching people in the real world, Samsung says Bali will go on sale this year. If you've ever been annoyed that you couldn't upgrade your RAM in an ultra-portable laptop, Micron has a potential solution: LPCAMM2 memory. It's a new form factor that's 64% smaller than standard SODIMM RAM sticks, and it's also potentially far faster and more efficient. Best of all though, is that it's a self-contained unit that can be easily removed and upgraded down the line. LPCAMM2 RAM won't get as much hype as AI PCs, but it is something that could transform what's possible with future laptop designs. And if it means laptop makers stop soldering RAM directly onto motherboards, we'll call it a win. After all these winners were picked, the Engadget team did another round of voting to choose the overall best of show. And that award goes to the GE Profile Smart Indoor Smoker. Congratulations to all the winners this year, and thank you all for following along with our coverage of CES 2024. We can't wait to go home and sleep, but also to come back next year for more endless tech in Las Vegas. Until then, we will continue to bring you all of the news from the world of consumer technology, so make sure to subscribe to Engadget. Ciao!